What's up, YouTube? It's Matt McCooch here, back again on the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome, and if you're coming back, well, welcome back as well. So today we're gonna be going over deadlifts. Now, if you've been following my channel, you'll see that I did a back day video originally, but I didn't include deadlift because I had already hit it the day before, and I just didn't feel like hitting it again. So this is now going to be the supplemental video to that back video. So if you didn't watch it, you can go back and watch it with this. So it's going to show some footage of me doing deadlifts, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how exactly to perform the deadlift correct and as well as efficiently, so you're getting the most out of it. Now, let me stress to you guys, it is super important. Do not worry about being able to do X amount of weight. Don't worry about being able to pull 3 plates, 2 plates, whatever. Just go at whatever speed is going to work for you guys best, and then you will eventually build up, because the most important thing is that you have the correct form. If you don't have correct form, when you start getting up to those 2 plates, and all that, when you lift, you're going to end up causing injury to yourself in your lower back. And if you hurt something in your lower back, you could be out of training and out of performing any kind of activity for a long enough time. So it's really important that you focus on getting the form down as well as going through the motion correctly. So here's gonna be some tips as to how you can perform it effectively and safely. All right, guys, so first and foremost is going to be the initial setup, and we're going to talk about foot placement. So if you notice, you'll see the textured grip in the middle. So what you want to do is, that's your center. When you line up with the bar, you want to make sure that your feet are set roughly at about shoulder width. And furthermore, let's see if I could zoom in here. You want to make sure that the bar is cutting your foot in half, essentially. Now, if you'll notice I'm not wearing shoes. A lot of people, they'll tend not to wear shoes, but if they do, they'll wear flat-soled shoes. Normally, what you'll see most people deadlift in are, some sort of Chuck Taylors or Converse, just because, they don't really have too good of a sole all to begin with, but they're really flat. And the importance of this is, if you think about it, a lot of people have high arches, or if they wear shoes that have like a high sole or like a ridge sole or something like that, then what that's going to happen is your feet need to be a sturdy center of gravity for when you're going through this motion. You don't want to have anything that's going to either cause your foot to like roll off to the side, in, or forward, because in you trying to correct that, you might end up pulling something in your back because the weight might pull you forward or sideways or whatever, and you might try to correct it. So number one, foot placement and footwear is essential. Mainly, if you don't have any kind of flat-soled shoes like Converse or Chuck Taylors, definitely just take your shoes off and just deadlift in socks. Hell, I've seen people deadlift in, bare feet before, for all I know. It's just about keeping your feet as flat as possible on a firm, flat surface. All right, so after we've got our foot placement, shoulder width apart, make sure the bar is cutting our feet in half. Now we're going to get into the grip. So there's a number of different kind of grips that you like to do, or that you can do. Some people, if you guys follow Omar Esof's page, he just recently released a video talking about the hook grip, which just involves, it's literally creating a hook on your fingers, so it's a better grip. But for me, what I've always liked to do is, it's called mixed grip. So you have one hand, which is an underhand or a supinated, and you have your other hand, which is sort of like an overhand. And what this essentially does is, this locks the bar from going both ways. So if you were to try to deadlift like this, when you start doing heavier weight, the bar is going to fall forward. If you deadlift like this and you start going, the higher in weight you go, where's the bar going to go? It's going to slip out that way and come towards you. So by having a good mixed grip, that's going to ensure that the bar is locked in place and it's not going to be able to slide out any which way. Now, additionally, you guys have probably seen people use straps, and there's nothing wrong with that, But what you want to do is you want to try to push yourself to not use the straps. Get, you know, as many sets as you can. Just push yourself to the point where you don't need the straps, because what deadlifts also do, in addition to strengthening your back, is it improves your grip strength. So if you were to start off using, you know, a 45-pound plate on each side, and you start using, you know, if you start using the straps, well, what's going to happen is you're just going to build a need, or like an aid in essence, and you're going to keep going over time, and you're just going to keep using it, and you're never going to really be able to improve your strength because you're always relying on the straps. So try the mixed grip. Now, you don't necessarily have to do right hand supinated, left hand overhand, but you can switch it up. You can do left hand supinated and right hand overhand. Just give it a try and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. So after we have the initial foot set up, we're yet again shoulder width apart, the bar's cutting our feet in half. Then you've got your grip, which for me is mixed. So now that you've got that, now we're going to get into the actual initial setup for the motion of the actual deadlift. So what you want to do is knees, you know, you want to start up straight like this. And what you want to do is you want to bring the bar, because it's foot cut in half, you want to bring the bar in, and you want to drop your hips a little bit. Now, what you should not do is you should not, you know, drop your hips almost to the point where you're like sitting on the floor, because then you're going to use leg power to get the bar up instead of your back. But what you want to do is you want to drop probably about right here, so that you're kind of like sitting on a chair in essence. So you've got your mixed grip, and when you come to sit down, you want to pull the bar into you, okay? So now it should be up against your shins. Now, what you want to do is you want to straighten your back. You don't want to round your back, okay? This is rounding your back. This is where a lot of people have injuries, is because if you look at it, my hips aren't even dropped anymore. And I'm standing like almost upright, so I'm leaning over the bar. And what's going to happen is when you go to pull this, you're going to try to pull it up. So you're going to try to come up like that, and you're just going to put a lot of strain on your lower lumbar and your lower back, and that's not what we want. So by dropping down into this kind of seated position, you got your grip. Now you want to, in essence, sit up straight, so your back is like this, okay? It's not rounded, it's a straight neutral spine like this. Now what you want to do from here is, all you're going to do is you're just going to lift straight up, okay? Then we come back down. See? Now if you noticed, I rounded my back right there. That's not what you want to do. You want to keep your back straight as possible throughout the entire motion. So think of it as you sitting down throughout the entire motion. So straight neutral spine, lift up. All right, guys, so those were a few tips on some things to look out for when you're deadlifting, you know, as well as for beginners who are starting, things that you want to make sure that you're doing, things that you want to make sure you're not doing. And you just got to practice at it. Don't worry about doing a lot of weight, because a lot of weight isn't important. It's all about getting the use out of that muscle, in this case, you know, our back, and just going through that motion and just practicing with it. And just, you know, get used to that feeling of when you're coming up, you can, you know, feel your back stretching, and then when you come out to the lockout position, you know, you feel it. And then also making sure you keep that straight neutral spine when you're bringing the bar back down, and then when you're coming back up. Okay? So nobody, you know, nobody out there has the perfect form like every single time they do it, and nobody expects you to. You know, it's something that you got to keep practicing at. You got to keep, you know, getting that mind-body connection and get yourself in that mental state every time you go to perform the deadlift. So just keep working at it. All right, don't worry about a lot of weight. Just keep working at it, slowly by slowly. Progress is progress. and eventually, you know, you'll get to the point where you'll be able to, you know, whatever goal you have for the deadlift, you'll be able to reach that goal, smash through it, and you'll be able to set up more goals. And at the end of the day, it's all about being able to perform the exercise safely, correctly, and just avoiding and causing any unnecessary damage or harm to yourself that you can. All right, guys, if you guys got any suggestions, any comments, concerns, put them in the box below. Until next time, I'm out.